Pierre Poilievre is the new leader of the Conservative Party of Canada, securing victory on the first ballot after a record-setting leadership campaign. Poilievre, 43, became the new leader of the Conservative Party of Canada on Saturday night after a lengthy and divisive 7-month leadership campaign that saw him be a clear frontrunner on all accounts, whether it be membership sales or fundraising. Poilievre swept the contest with 68.15% of the vote. Former Quebec Premier Jean Charest, who came in second, only got 16.07%. MP Leslyn Louis, who was third in the 2020 leadership contest for party leadership, came in third place again with 9.69% of the vote. Former Ontario MPP Roman Baber, who got kicked out of Premier Doug Ford's caucus last year for opposing COVID-19 lockdowns, garnered 5.03%, and MP Scott Aitchison received 1.06% of the vote. While the party aimed to hold a subdued event, pulling the plug on confetti cannons, the crowd of approximately 1,000 erupted into cheers and some chants of freedom when the results were announced. After Poilievre was cheered up onto the stage, he started his remarks with a message of condolence. "I feel a small catch in my throat when I utter the words that no leader has stated in this country for over 7 decades. God save the king," he said. Let's listen to Pierre Poilievre as he accepts his selection as the new leader of the Conservative Party of Canada.
Tonight begins the journey to replace an old government that costs you more and delivers you less with a new government that puts you first, your paycheck, your retirement, your home, your country. By tackling liberal inflation, we'll put you back in control of your life and your money. Today, people feel like they've lost control of their pocketbooks and their lives. The cost of government is driving up the cost of living. This government, this Liberal government, has doubled our national debt, adding more debt than all previous governments combined. That means another $500 billion bidding up the cost of the goods we buy and the interest we pay. Inflationary taxes increase those costs further. Now, they plan to triple the carbon tax on gas, heat, and everything else. Families downgrade their diets to cover the 10% year-over-year jump in food prices. Seniors delay their retirements and watch their life savings evaporate with inflation. 30-year-olds who did everything we asked them to do, got degrees, worked hard, are trapped in 400-square-foot apartments or worse, their parents' basements because house prices have doubled under this government. And those who do own homes are paying more interest on their mortgages, even though this government promised interest rates would not rise for years. Many are falling behind, and there are people in this country who are just hanging on by a thread. These are citizens of our country. We are their servants. We owe them hope. They don't need a government that sneers at them, looks down on them, calls them names. They don't need a government to run their lives. They need a government that can run a passport office. They need a prime minister who hears them and offers them hope that they can, again, afford to buy a home, a car, pay their bills, afford food, have a secure retirement, and, God forbid, even achieve their dreams if they work hard. They need a prime minister who will restore that hope, and I will be that prime minister. We need to restore the hope of home ownership. Right now, youth and newcomers can't get a home because local government gatekeepers block housing with heavy fees and long delays for building permits, leaving us with the fewest houses per capita of any country in the G7, even though we have the most land to build on. A Poilievre government will require big cities that want federal infrastructure money to speed up and lower the cost of permits and to approve affordable housing around all transit stations so that our young people can live there and don't even need to afford a car. We will also We'll sell off 15% of the underutilized 37,000 federal buildings to turn them into housing and use the proceeds of sale to reduce our deficit. In other words, stop printing money, start building homes for our people. Right now, we lose wages because we import 130,000 barrels of overseas oil, mostly from dictators, every single day, even though we have the third largest supply right here in Canada. And that is all because our government prefers dirty dictator oil to responsible Canadian energy. We will repeal this government's anti-energy laws and replace them with a law that protects our environment, consults First Nations, and gets things built. We will greenlight Newfoundland and Labrador's planned increase in oil production, which will allow us to fully replace every single barrel of oil we're importing from abroad. And within 5 years, we will set the goal to end dictator oil in Canada altogether. We must remove other unneeded barriers by axing the disastrous ArriveCan app. And by ending the remaining COVID vaccine mandates to let people work and travel freely.
My government will not poke its nose into everything. A smaller federal government will help Quebec citizens and Canadian citizens grow.
Citizens who own their homes, build their dreams, raise their families, look out for their neighbors, and earn powerful paychecks and savings free from inflation and overtaxation. We will restore Canada's promise in a country where it doesn't matter who you love, or if your name is Smith or Singh, Martin or Mohammed, Chang or Charles. A country where the dreamer, the farmer, the worker, the entrepreneur, the survivor, the fighter, the ones who get knocked down but keep getting back up and keep going can achieve their purpose. A country where the son of a teenage mother adopted by 2 teachers can dare to run for Prime Minister of Canada. Absolutely. In the words of the great Canadian Prime Minister John Diefenbaker, I am a Canadian, a free Canadian, free to speak without fear, free to worship God in my own way, free to stand for what I think right, free to oppose what I believe wrong, free to choose those who shall govern my country. This heritage of freedom I pledge to uphold for myself and all of mankind. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much.
Saturday's results make Poilievre the third elected leader since former Prime Minister Stephen Harper's departure from politics, and one that Conservatives hope will bring them to victory in the next federal election after 3 consecutive defeats to Justin Trudeau's Liberals. After opting out of running in the 2020 race citing his family life, Poilievre came into this campaign at full force, framing his race as a run for Prime Minister and one that would champion personal freedom. His introductory campaign video promising to give you back control of your life has amassed 4.9 million views since it was posted in February. With a strong team of experienced Conservatives behind him, Poilievre outpaced the other leadership candidates when it came to membership sign-ups and fundraising, raking in millions more dollars and from a larger donor pool than any of his opponents. What will Poilievre leadership bring to the Conservative Party of Canada, and will he be able to defeat Justin Trudeau in the next election? Let us hear your opinion in the comment section. Interesting times ahead. Thanks for watching.